Yo, what's going on, guys? The Kitty G on EGTV. We're back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We got to talk about what Fabrizio Romano said about the Jude Bellingham to Arsenal rumor. Yes, I do repeat, Jude Bellingham to Arsenal rumor. We're going to get into that. Also, we're going to talk about Zaniolo, a Roma player that has been linked to Arsenal. Nicolo Zaniolo has been linked to us prior, and we got to get into him. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus was not seen in training and seems to be injured ahead of the Bodo Glimt game midweek on Thursday. And you know what? Personally, if Gabriel Jesus is injured going into the Bodo Glimt game, don't play him. And if he's still injured going into the Leeds game, potentially, we're gonna have to find out what we can do. But I think I back Eddie Nketiah. Fun fact: if you guys don't know, in Eddie Nketiah's last 15 starts, he has scored 12 goals. Pretty crazy, if you ask me. But yeah, we're also going to get into David Moyes' comments about Arsenal potentially winning the Premier League. We're going to talk about who we want going into our next game versus Bodo Glimt. But people in the chat, let me know where you're watching from, where in the world you're watching from right now. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We have a couple people in the chat already. I'll be making sure I get to all your comments in the chat. Make sure I get to every single one of your comments. We got Arm Deep in the house saying hi. We got Fuad in the house saying the one, the only, the legend, Egal. Bro, come on, bro. I'm no legend, man. You're being too kind. You're being too kind, right? People in the chat, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button also if you haven't. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Since we got a lot to cover today's video. We got a lot to talk about. We haven't been doing a lot of Arsenal news as of late because it's been quiet. But today we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First, the Mbappe stuff is making me laugh because now people are actually trying to link Mbappe to Arsenal. Is there any way? Surely there isn't. Surely there isn't. But is there any way you could see Mbappe at Arsenal? What? Mbappe and Arsenal in the same sentence? That's so like 2017. You would have never thought I would have put those two in the same sentence. But I'm hearing people talking about whatever you talk about. Why not? Why not Mbappe? I'm not one of those people who want Mbappe personally, but the question to you guys is Mbappe to Arsenal. Who says no? Who says no? Who says yes? Because I personally don't think Mbappe to Arsenal is a potential possibility, but since he has rumoredly said that he wants to leave PSG, everyone's talking about this. So Arsenal's still top of the league. Arsenal's a exciting proposition for any player, but Mbappe, I don't know. Let me know what you guys are saying. I put the poll in the chat. Mbappe to Arsenal. You could say yes if you believe it could potentially happen and you'd want it to happen. You could say no if you think it will never happen and think. This will be the first question of the day, right? We have 24 hours before we play Bodo Glimt. And you know what? I think we kind of know who the lineup's going to be, so we're going to go through that in a second. But before we do that, let's get to some more comments in the comment section. Shout out to you guys watching from Dubai. Big up. Watching from Uganda. Shout out to you all the way in Uganda. Mbappe to Manchester United, the only dumb enough to buy him. We'll see. There is no way, man. Fortunately, unfortunately, whatever way you put it, the only team who can get Mbappe is Real Madrid or Liverpool swap for Mo Salah. Interesting, a swap deal for Mo Salah. Would PSG even take that? Mbappe will fall out with Arteta in a week. Typical Arteta and Mbappe beef. I could see that though. He's coming to too much baggage. Definitely too much baggage. I agree. Definitely too much baggage. I don't think Mbappe to Arsenal is going to happen. I generally think that is unrealistic. But it is being spoken about. It's being spoken about a lot, and with it being spoken about, we just needed to touch on it quite just a little bit, just to see what you guys would say. So my in-depth analysis from this whole Mbappe thing, in my opinion, is that he's not going to go nowhere until after January. But somebody asked the question: who would you rather have right now? if you're at Arsenal, would you do a swap deal for Gabriel Jesus for Mbappe? Would you do a swap deal for Gabriel Jesus to Mbappe? Because you know how ridiculous some of these questions are. Some people just come up with some random ass questions and they start saying stuff like, would you do a swap deal for this guy or that guy? Nah, man. I don't believe for a second Mbappe would be a good fit at Arsenal. And I agree, Arteta would probably fall out with him. But it's because Mbappe is such a diva. But yeah, enough about Mbappe. I don't think Mbappe is coming to Arsenal. But you know who I do see potentially coming to Arsenal? Potentially Jude Bellingham. Now, let's get on to Jude Bellingham. But before we do that, hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button, and let's talk about some of these potential rumors that Thing was speaking about. Obviously, Jude Bellingham to Liverpool has been the transfer that has been on everyone's lips for the longest time. Imagine Mbappe to United, the battle, Manchester Derby, Haaland and Mbappe. Yeah, imagine him at Liverpool also. The battle's there. I wouldn't swap Eddie Nketiah with Mbappe. What? My man's moving mad. What are the people saying? 78% saying no to Mbappe. Wow. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about Jude Bellingham. Because in my opinion, this is more realistic. This is the more realistic transfer. Jude Bellingham to Arsenal is the more realistic transfer. This is the one that could potentially actually happen. And this is why I want to talk about it. Imagine Jude Bellingham in that Granit Xhaka number 8 role, going forward, scoring goals, contributing to the team so well. He would be fantastic in that position. Now, Jude Bellingham has been linked to Liverpool so many times. Liverpool have said that they made a request that Dortmund do not even want to negotiate the last summer, and that they are saving up money to get Jude Bellingham the following summer, 2023. Liverpool will be sure next summer that Liverpool will be a really important player, and he'll be a dream signing for Liverpool next summer. But now, Arsenal could potentially steal a March. Fabrizio Romano on the suggestion that Arsenal could compete for the player Jude Bellingham. He was saying that there's still other clubs obviously interested. You have Liverpool, you have Chelsea, you have Manchester City, you have Manchester United and Real Madrid. All really want him. Arsenal could compete with those clubs, but the player is like this yet. So not yet. Arsenal are yet to say that they're able and capable to compete with a player like that at this moment in time. I think it would take a lot of work. First of all, getting Champions League football. We need to get Champions League football first for us to compete for a player like this. But the thing is, just yet. I think we get Champions League football, we can compete with Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool for a player. The only player we're going to struggle to compete with is probably Manchester City. When it comes to Real Madrid, if Real Madrid are not interested in the player, we can have him. But if Real Madrid are interested in a player, 10 times out of 10, they're going to end up at Real Madrid. That's just the reality of the situation. Jude Bellingham to Arsenal is a dream signing. It would be a dream signing. But yeah, we have 19 people in the chat right now. Do me a favor, hit that like button while you guys are in the chat right now. Don't forget to do that. If you haven't done that yet, what are you waiting for? But yeah, Jude Bellingham is a good replacement for Jordan Henderson. I'll take him all day. Jude Bellingham, imagine Jude Bellingham as a Granit Xhaka replacement at Arsenal. Jude Bellingham in that 8 role would be a dream. Yeah, you see what I mean? I personally would have Frankie de Jong over Jude Bellingham. You see, now this makes sense. This makes sense. Now, Frankie de Jong would be a player who could play in the Partey role, and he could play in the Xhaka role. He could be very multi-use. Interesting. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Frankie de Jong or Jude Bellingham? That's an interesting question, because Frankie de Jong would actually be the cheaper of the two. Frankie de Jong would be the cheaper player of the two. That is the crazy thing to think about. The two players would both cost ridiculous money. The two players would both be upwards of 70 to 100 million, right? Jude Bellingham, I've even heard him being linked for over 120 million. So how much would you actually want? And who would you prefer? Let me know. Because I think if we were given the opportunity to sign Frankie de Jong, I still think Frankie de Jong is the better player right now. Frankie de Jong is not in form. Frankie de Jong is not the more informed player. Jude Bellingham is the more informed player. But imagine if you can get Frankie de Jong or Jude Bellingham, either one. Who would you pick? Who would you pick? Let me know. who would you pick if it was up to you? Because for me, I'm just a fan of Frankie, man. I like Jude Bellingham. I think he would be amazing in that 8 role, but Frankie De Jong would offer us more in the sense that he could play in the 6, cover up Pate when injured or not playing, and he can play in the 8 when Xhaka's injured or not playing. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. It's actually a win-win. Crazy to think. Now the next one that we're linked to kind of doesn't make any sense in my opinion. The next player we're linked to doesn't really make sense in my opinion, but I'll tell you guys who we're linked to anyways. The next player we're linked to is Nicolo Zaniolo. Now, Nicolo Zaniolo, if you guys don't know who he is, Nicolo Zaniolo is he's a player who currently plays for Rome. He in Rome. He plays for Roma, and Nicolo Zaniolo is he is currently 23 years old. He's 23 years old. He's one of the main guys at Roma. Last this season so far. He's been playing a lot of the games, and he's contributed. He's had 2 appearances this season in the Europa League, in the Europa League, and he's had 5 appearances in the Serie A. This is a guy who I think if we were able to sign him, he could offer us something in that attacking midfield role or that Odegaard position. But we already have Vieira, and we already have some of these other guys. I'm not too familiar with the player. I need to get more familiar with the player. But in my opinion, I don't know if there's much actually in this transfer. The 23-year-old has not played much football this season. He's played a lot last season, but this season he's only played 5 games. You know what? That's decent since it's early in the season. The last couple of seasons he's played a lot of games. He's more of a attacking midfielder / winger. I don't know. I think with Vieira and Odegaard, we might not need Nicolo Zaniolo's. Why would we need him? I don't know where this transfer potentially came off a rumor that I seen where they're saying Arsenal could potentially move for Nicolo Zaniolo, but I don't know. I just don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense. I think we might consider the move, but I don't think it makes sense. He's 23 years old. If you guys want to know anything about him, let me know. Zaniolo's overrated. 2 ACLs, by the way. What? He's had 2 ACL surgeries. Really? Has he? Let me check his injury record. Bro, some of you guys are on the ball. Yeah, bro. Wow. Man has had a cruciate ligament tear twice in 2019 and in 2020. Wow. Definitely don't want him if he's had 2 cruciate ligament injuries. Definitely don't want him. Yeah, man. In both knees. Damn. Bro, I don't know if we want him anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've had 2 ligament tears in both knees, like you're just a liability. I don't think you want someone like that. But yeah, let's just put that on the back burner for a second. Let's put that on the back burner for a second. Let's stay away from that one because it's just a little dangerous. It's a little dangerous. We need to stay away from that one, right? Talking about Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Jesus is injured. Yes. The moment that we've all been waiting for, it has come. Now, the positives, we don't know the extent of the injury. We don't know what's going on. All we know is that he missed training. We know that he missed training ahead of the Europa League game, and so did Zinchenko. Zinchenko also missed training. So those are the 2 players that missed training. Now, we know how important Gabriel Jesus is to Arsenal. We know how important Gabriel Jesus is to this team. We know how important he is, and we won't be willing to lose him for too long, or else it will cause a lot of detriment to our team since he is one of our talismans. But the positive thing is he can now rest and not play against the Europa League team Bodo and Glimt. Potentially, he could not even play the next game versus Leeds, because I think I could back Eddie Nketiah to play that next game, but we don't know the extent of his injury. All we know is that Gabriel Jesus did not train. We know Gabriel Jesus did not train. We know Gabriel Jesus was not spotted with the first team training today, and this could be a thing where it's like we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens, because I don't know if it could be something worse, or if it could just be precaution. Hopefully, it's just a precaution at this moment in time. But Zinchenko, we already know Zinchenko's been injured. I thought Ferran Jutglà's links, he from Club Brugge. Yeah, I seen that guy. I seen the guy from Club Brugge. Club Brugge. Bro, he has been banging in goals left, right, center. Club Brugge striker. What's his name again? The striker for Club Brugge. One second, let me find him. Yeah, this guy has been banging goals left, right, center. I think he has 2 goals in the Champions League. He's in my fantasy team for the Champions League. He's absolutely balling. He's absolutely balling. And you guys just reminded me actually that I need to make a change to my fantasy team for the Champions League. Is it too late? I hope it's not too late. Did I make my changes already? Yeah, I already made my changes. I have him in my fantasy team for my in the Champions League. So I know how good this guy is. But let me just show you guys who he's talking about. Because if you guys don't know who, if you're not familiar with this guy's ability, let me show you guys. This is a guy who in their league in 10 games has 6 goals. In the Champions League in 3 games has 2 goals, and he is 23 years old. He's a Belgian international, and sorry, he hasn't played for the national team yet, but he's a Spanish player. He's currently playing in the Belgian first division. Sorry, and he hasn't played for the Spanish first team. He's played for the Spanish B team, and he's done well. He's done well there. He's a former Barcelona academy graduate, by the way, and there are links to him being linked to Arsenal. Let me see what those links said, because I haven't looked too deep into it. Arsenal are eyeing a move. Yeah, so the Daily Cannon reported that Arsenal are interested in the 23-year-old. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, I'll show you. I'll put him on the screen right now. You might recognize him the moment you see a picture. This kid does look legit. I get it, bro. This kid does look legit. And the transfer rumors that around him are somewhat serious, but it is still early to be thinking that we're going to be going for another striker. At this moment in time, we're just scouting the young man. I don't think it's anything more than that. We're just scouting him. We're just looking at him from a distance, and we're saying to ourselves, you know what, we could potentially sign him. That's what it is. We're not serious yet with this transfer. This is just rumors at this point. Don't think anything of it yet. It's not. Don't start putting shirts on the back of names and stuff. But yeah, big up Tommy. By the way, guys, Tommy is Arteta in. Yes, Tommy, who has been resident Arteta out guy on this channel for over a decade, almost. I'm joking. Over the last couple of years, bro. Why is everyone sleeping on Gakpo? You know what? Gakpo has been performing outstandingly well, but PSV are not going to sell Gakpo in this window. That's the reality. PSG are not going to sell Gakpo. People, we got 16 people in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like button right now. PSV are not going to sell Gakpo, my friend. That's just the reality. PSV have made it clear that they don't want to sell Gakpo. They don't want him to go anywhere. He's going to probably stay until the end of the season. That is the situation with Gakpo, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked, that he's doing well from the start of the season. He's done quite well, and that they're going to probably hold on to him for a little bit longer now, and they're not going to move him on that quickly anymore. That is what I'm hearing. But yeah, did you guys hear about the David Moyes interview? Did you guys hear about David Moyes? What David Moyes said? David Moyes was talking about Arsenal, and he was saying he had a lot of good words to say about Arsenal. Honestly, I was quite surprised how nice he was speaking about us. But then I realized his former player, his former what do you call it? Arsenal Arteta is his former what do you call it? Captain, if I'm not mistaken, at Everton. So of course he was going to speak about Arsenal in a nice fashion. But I just didn't think about it. But yeah, let me just play it for you.
Most is do regular, and there's a lot of the people on there always critical of Arsenal over the last few years. And I've been saying, and Piercy will tell you, I think that Arsenal have been a really good team for a while when nobody was giving them the respect. They brought in Odegaard, who's made a real difference in the position he plays for them, makes it very difficult. I think Mikel had had an idea on what he thinks it should look like. And I think that after working with Pep for a few years, it'll have given him all that guidance in how to sort of prepare a good team. It was just that I felt that nobody was giving Mikel any credit whatsoever. Mikel's a really diligent boy. You can see young manager learning his way. He'll make a few mistakes as he goes along, like I did and everybody else does when you're in management in the early years. But he hasn't half put together a really good side. And ultimately, sometimes what you need is you need good fortune to have good young players at your club when you arrive in. And I think Arsenal have good young players in their system.
Yeah, so that was on TalkSport. David Moyes was speaking about Arteta and Arsenal, and the main thing that caught my eye was he was saying nobody gives Arsenal credit. He's right. Nobody gives Arsenal the credit, the respect, whatever it has to be. He remembers people were always critical of Arsenal, and nobody gave Arteta any credit. That is also true. I'm happy that people are finally pointing these things out. I'm happy that people are pointing out the things that were in front of our faces for the longest time. It's just people think miraculously Arsenal became good again. No, it's been hard work, diligence, and finally people are actually starting to speak about it. Because David Moyes' talking about interviewing Arsenal's title hopes, potentially in the unsung heroes, people like that. This is what I wanted to hear. This is what we deserve as fans. And you know what? Another person who's finally getting their respect, Ben White. Ben White is finally getting the respect that he deserves. If you guys haven't seen, Ben White is finally getting the respect that he deserves. Because Ben White, the media and everyone, it takes them so long to realize things that are right in front of their faces. Like, let's be real. How long has Ben White been good for? Ben White has been a great player for a long time. But but if you watch Sky Sports or you watch any of these shows where they talk about these guys on a week in, week out basis, you would have thought this guy was terrible. You would have thought this guy was no good. You would have thought he was done out here, but they continuously make it seem like these guys are washed. This team is this team is that. Ben White is this, Ben White is that. Now Gabriel is having a tough route. They're gonna go after Gabriel quite hard. I know they are. But this is what it is. This is what it is. Let me show you guys what happened. Because if I'm not mistaken, before he finally got his respect, we seen that that Grabala was speaking about Ben White, and this is what he had to say. This is what he originally said about Ben White. I thought him calling Ben White overrated was kind of funny coming from a player who never actually was rated to that level. But yeah, Grabala, he has a thing against Arsenal because of his Aston Villa days. But yeah, Ben Grabala, sorry, whatever his name is, Gabby, whatever his name is, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Forget about his name. Why did I say Grabala? Gagbon Agbonlahor. That's his name, Agbonlahor. Ben White is overrated. For me, Gabriel and Saliba would be my starters next season. Now, fast forward to this season, he is saying that Agbonlahor admits that he was wrong about defender Ben White and wants to apologize to Ben White. He's been outstanding this season. So sorry about that, guys. You know I have a little bit of a learning disability, so my apologies for butchering that. But yeah, it is good that Ben White is finally Ben White is getting the respect that he deserves. People, it has taken him so long to give him the respect that he deserves, but he's finally getting it. And I'm just so happy to see that he's getting the respect that he deserves. England's best defender after Reece James for a while. You know what? He needs to go on that plane, because if Reece James is injured for the World Cup or Trent is injured for the World Cup, Ben White needs to go. He can also play right back. He can also play as a center back. He can utilize him in many different positions, and he'll be a Swiss Army knife for him. And also, if you play at three at the back and Kyle Walker is not doing well at that right center back role, you can put in Ben White, plug in that hole, and he will do well for you. That is the reality. Now, before we move on to anything else, there were some Nuno Tavares comments. There were some comments made by Nuno Tavares. If you guys don't know, there were some comments made about Nuno Tavares, some cryptic comments over his future, slamming Mikel Arteta's transfer solution, basically implying that the loanee wanted to leave. He wanted to leave and he wanted to stay at Marseille. He wanted to go somewhere else. So let me just give you guys a little bit more information on what's going on. By the way, and as I do that, I'm gonna put up the picture of him because he was actually speaking before Marseille's Champions League match. He was the one on the podium speaking before the match, and some of the things that he said um, were kind of shots at the club. Let's be real. Can you, Egal, can Chelsea finish above Arsenal this season? It is possible, but I don't see it happening. It is plausible, but I just don't see it happening. I think Arsenal are going to finish above Chelsea this season. I think maybe even quite comfortably, but we'll have to wait and see how things go near the end of the season. But yeah, left back Nuno Tavares is currently on loan in Marseille, as we already know, right? He has spoken previously about the potential of moving, but on his future, the prospect is currently playing his best football at Marseille, and he's playing in the position that he wants to be playing in. I came to Marseille, and this is what he said. I came to Marseille, and I'm able to play in my position. Speaking about the position that he wants to play in, which is left wing back, right? Not left back. When signed for Marseille, I wanted the option to buy, but Arsenal refused with my agent, and we always wanted this purchase option. Arsenal did not. Now I'm at Marseille with or without an option. I'm happy at Arsenal. I would have only only played in cups. So he personally knows his status at the Arsenal club right now, and the fact that he's not first choice, and the fact that he would only play in cup games. He wants that option to buy. He wanted that option to buy, and he's quite upset that Arsenal didn't put that option to buy in his contract. So what do we do with him now? Do we sell him? Do we keep him? Or do we loan him out again to try to raise his value? Because Nuno thinks he's Hakimi, reality check blood. This guy should be a winger. Bro, he has the ability of a touchline winger. He has the ability of a touchline winger. Nuno Tavares' ability, he has good ability on the ball. He's able to go forward, but defensively, he's a liability. Defensively, he can't do it. That's why he's similar to a Marcus Alonso. That is the perfect example of what he is. He's so good in that final third. But at Arsenal, for some reason, he lost that ability in the final third. He was just I kind of question what happened to it. But yeah, we got 25 people in the chat right now. Do me a favor, smash that like button right now, people, before we move on to the final couple of things that we need to talk about. Keep smashing that like button. But yeah, Nuno Tavares, what do you do with him, people? Let me know. What do we do with Nuno Tavares? Do we keep him? Do we sell him? Do we loan him out? I don't know. He could never be a winger. He's a headless chicken. No, but some wingers, bro, some wingers are headless chickens. Some wingers at certain levels are headless chickens. They just kick and push, and some people they're able to drive past people. Like he's similar to Kolasinac almost, but Kolasinac is not as fast as him. He should be a GK at best. What? What? Goalkeeper? What are you talking about? Someone sell him. Some people are selling him, some people are keeping him. A lot of people don't I posed this question to people on my Twitter. Sell or keep Nuno Tavares. And you know what they were saying? Let me give you some answers on what some people said. Some people said 100. Let me just show you guys what some of the people said when responding to me on Twitter about if we should sell or keep him. Some people said sell. Someone here said sell. But he said he's such a little technical. He has such little technical consistency. Getting minutes under Arteta has been and will be hard for him. We will see. He has to improve going from there. Another one here saying the way Arteta signings have gone, he most certainly is worth bringing back. Bringing him back. He most certainly what. I'm certain this is worth bringing him back. We'll see. Someone here saying with Tomiyasu bodying Salah, Tavares himself, definitely going to be sold. He's definitely going to be sold. Another one here saying sell him for 35 million and put that towards Mbappe. It's not going to happen. Another one here saying sell for 20 million. Sell. He could be very good, but evidence a wing back. Yeah, evidently a wing back. He's definitely a wing back. Some people saying put him in the bin, sell, 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 sell. Someone here saying keep. What are they saying? Keep if we can get 30 million, then sell. Interesting. Keep converting him into a winger. Interesting. He will do well in that position. Interesting. Convert him into a winger. Some people think he should be a winger. No hurry. Okay. Sell, he disrespected Mikel. Okay. So yeah, that is just some of the takes there. Personally, I sell him. I sell Nuno Tavares because I think his value is so high right now. And the way that he's speaking seems like he doesn't want to come back and fight for his place. The reason why I don't want him here for much longer. Sell him. He doesn't want to fight for his place. He can go somewhere else and fight for his place somewhere else. Big up Egal. More grace, brother. Big up to you. Big up to you. We got we got Cuffy at right back. We're good. Cuffy's on loan. Cuffy's doing well on loan. He's getting man of the match performances week in, week out. Cuffy's the guy. We don't have to worry. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. I got some good news for you. Good news. Are you guys excited? This is some very good news. Like when I say very good news, I mean very good news. Arsenal, once again, rumored to be close to getting a contract done for William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, and Gabriel Martinelli. Now, I just hope that there's some truth to this and we can actually get these deals done, but it seems like it's going to take a little bit longer than expected. I hope they can get done very soon, but it's just going to take a little bit longer than expected. And this whole triple signing thing is going to take a while. But Arsenal are growing confidence in the signing of Saka, and Martinelli is signing a new contract. But Saliba's going to take a while. It's going to take us a while to get Saliba's contract sorted out, guys. Saliba's going to go to that World Cup, and I'm worried that every mom and their dad will be speaking about him. He'll be a household name. I believe he's France's best center back. And if we don't get Saliba signed to a new contract before he goes to that World Cup, he has 2 years left remaining on his deal. His head could be turned quite quickly if a Real Madrid or somebody come knocking, man. I'm very worried. I'm very worried about the Saliba situation, people. I think the Saliba situation is much worse than we think, because the player right now is just focused on his football. But I have not heard enough information about that deal getting done to give me confidence. Bukayo Saka, I believe that deal's done. Martinelli, I believe they're working on it. Saliba, I love Saliba. I want him to stay so much. I get scared. Saliba's the one guy I'm worried about because we've had issues with we've had Saliba get loaned out a couple times. He's now playing his best football. Saliba is an integral part to the team. Arsenal even did this whole thing. Did you guys see the thing that Arsenal did with Saliba? They did this whole thing talking about Saliba's. Look at this. They did this whole thing about Saliba on the Arsenal Twitter page. This is a special club. You know, when Arsenal is interested in you, you are very happy. There is no decision to make. Long read. William Saliba is and on his lifelong love for Arsenal. Now, they did this whole article on Saliba, guys. They did this whole interview on how Saliba has been a lifelong Arsenal fan. And for him not to sign the contract after all this definitely would make me question if the club did everything they needed to do to keep him. Because if he's a lifelong Arsenal fan and he's been watching Arsenal since a young age and he's been pictured wearing Arsenal kits, like, I don't know. We got to talk about this. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because if they've done this whole article, they wouldn't have done this whole article just to mess with the fans. But yeah, man, Saliba, we gotta keep a hold of our best young players. This team is one of the best teams in the league right now, the best team in the league right now. And if we cannot hold on to our young players like Saliba, Saka, Martinelli, we're gonna be in the same cycle and go back down to where we were a couple years ago. We need to hold on to these guys. If we can sign Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and Saliba to a new contract for the next 5 years, we're flying. We're set. And improve on the squad, we're set. But yeah, moving on to the final thing of the day. Who's gonna play versus Bodo Glimt? Who are you guys gonna play versus Bodo Glimt? Let me know. Let me know. This is time for the predicted lineup versus Bodo Glimt. Who would you play? Because we need to talk about this because there's so many people that could play in this game. There's so many people who could be rested in this game. There's so many little things that we could do and changes, substitutions, little alterations that we could do to the team. But what do you guys think is the best choice for this team? Now, starting from starting from goalkeeper, we know Matt Turner's going to start. We know Matt Turner's going to start, so we're going to just put Matt Turner in. Let me just go to the team. So this is the Arsenal team, and we're going to put in the team. So Matt Turner is going to start, right? We know left back. We're going to go with tomorrow. Zinchenko's injured, so we're going to go with Tierney. Tomiyasu started last game. Right back. Ben White's played a lot of right back. We're going to play Tomiyasu in his rightful position this game. What do you guys think? I think that's a good idea. Right center back. We know in this game, Rob Holding's going to play. Left center back. Who's going to play left center back this game? You know what? You could even go Tomiyasu and you could go Cedric. That could even be a potential option. That could be a potential option in the back four. That could be the potential team that we go with in that little back four area. You guys get me? Okay. Let me know what's next. Midfield. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna go Lokonga and you're gonna go Xhaka. There's no real other options besides Xhaka. Who else could we play? Emil Smith, Elneny still injured. You're not going to play Partey because you're going to risk injuring Partey. Xhaka is a Swiss Army knife. He tends to play majority of these games. He's one of the leaders, and he's going to captain the team on the night. I think it's going to be Granit Xhaka. Do you guys disagree? I think it's going to be Xhaka. Why is it not coming up, though? Where is Xhaka on this list? Where is he? Xhaka's not coming up. Where is he? I can't even find him. Granit Xhaka's missing. Okay. Up top, we know who's going to start up top. It's going to be Eddie. Eddie Nketiah is going to start up top. On this side, this game, I think you play Reece Nelson. You play Reece Nelson and you play Marquinhos. So you play Reece Nelson on one side, you play Marquinhos on the other side, depending on whoever is fit. You want to rest Saka and Martinelli this game. You don't want to play them. Fabio Vieira starts in the middle. No question about it. Where's Fabio Vieira? And who could play next to Lokonga and these guys? Do you want to give Odegaard a game or and rest Xhaka? Who do we? You know what? We're just gonna play Xhaka there. But Xhaka's name is not coming up for some reason. What's going on? Where's Xhaka? I think Granit Xhaka got sold without me knowing. Where the hell is he? He's not on the list. But yeah. Okay, so that's Granit Xhaka, people. But that's the team that I have. Let me know what you guys think. I know Bodo Glimt, bro. They're no mugs, but still. Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Marquinhos, Xhaka, Lokonga, Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, Eddie Nketiah. Xhaka's at home, blood. Xhaka refused to play. Okay, if Xhaka's not playing, imagine hypothetically if Xhaka's actually not playing. Would you guys play Odegaard in this game? Where's Odegaard? Odegaard in this team? Oh, Odegaard's not in here either. What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on? Yeah, nah, I don't know what happened. But yeah, just imagine this. Hypothetically, this is Xhaka because I can't find his name on the list for some reason. But yeah, that is that. Where else is there? Nawari. I don't think Nawari is gonna play in this game as a starter. I don't think he's starting. What else do we have here? I would play Lokonga Vieira, and Odegaard in the midfield. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. You can play Xhaka. I think Odegaard, Vieira should be tested. You know what? That might be a good idea. That might be a good idea. They did play together in the second half of the Bodo Glimt game last time. We must rest Martin. You see, this is the thing. You can't rest everybody. You still have to play other games. You still have to play other teams. You cannot afford to rest everybody. Everybody can't be rested. Some people still need to play. This is where the issues lie. This is where the issues lie. You know what I mean? This is where the issues lie. I struggled to pick a team. But we know how we're going to set up. But yeah, the Arsenal predicted lineup in these games pick themselves. Don't you think the Arsenal predicted lineups pick themselves? It's just, what are we going to do with that last position? And do you think we're even going to play Gabriel? Eddie Nketiah is my striker. He's going to score a hat-trick. I hope he does. Odegaard hasn't played the last 2 Europa League games, should play now. Odegaard did play the last Europa League game. Did he not? Odegaard, Bodo Glimt, did he not come on as a substitute? I'm pretty sure he came on as a substitute, bro. Yeah, he did. He came on as a substitute. I was there, bro. I seen it. My own eyes. Seen it with my own eyes, bro. You trying to tell me I'm lying? Trying to tell me I'm lying? No, man, I seen it as a starter. No, he hasn't started. You're right. He has not started. Just before we move on to the final topic, do you think he's going to play Tomiyasu as a center back, or he could just play Gabriel? He's going to play Gabriel again, and he's going to play Tomiyasu again. And he's just going to keep it like that. I don't think Cedric's going to get it running. I think if you had to put a gun to my head and tell me to pick, I think this is the team he goes with. Yeah, I think this is the team he goes with. Odegaard is pissing me off recently. Yeah, definitely is pissing me off also. Play Arteta. Nah, rest Gabriel at all costs. You know what? This is the problem. You rest Gabriel, but can you rest your whole 11? Be real, people. Can Arsenal really rest the whole 11? This is the team that I've gone with. But can Arsenal rest the whole 11? Can we actually rest the whole 11? I don't think we can. I don't think we can rest the whole 11. There's some players that we cannot rest. That's just the reality. But yeah, have a good one, guys. You guys already know what it is. Kitty G on EGTV. We're out of here. I'm gonna have to go watch some Champions League games and everything. But I'll be back tomorrow with Vibes from the 6 at 8 o'clock, and 11 o'clock we will have an Arsenal Leeds preview. And the Arsenal Leeds preview will be with Joe, who's a Leeds fan, and we'll go in depth, right? Sorry. No. Relax. Rewind. The Arsenal Leeds preview will be on Friday. Vibes from the 6 will be on Friday. Tomorrow is the Arsenal versus Bodo Glimt game, match reaction. Guys, I forgot we're playing tomorrow. Oh my God. I'm jumping ahead to the Premier League. It just goes to show you how crazy things are. Oh my God. I'm jumping ahead way too much. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hopefully you guys stay tuned in the next episode. And if you're watching this far and you've gotten through this video and you haven't hit a like button and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Take a second. It's 2 seconds. Iga, you're a fraud. Yeah, bro, you're funny. Yeah, man, I'm a fraud. I got caught. No, I'm joking. Anyways, bro, I completely forgot. We're literally talking about the Europa League lineup. Next thing you know, I start talking about the Premier League. I'm so focused on the Premier League, guys. The Europa League is not fun sometimes, people. It's just not fun. It's fun to win games and to see your team put in performances, but the level of quality of opposition just makes it boring sometimes when you're watching the games. Like, we're seeing Granit Xhaka outpacing guys in the Europa League. That's not happening in the Champions League. But yeah, you guys have yourselves a good one. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Shout out my guys. I'm recognizing names from Twitter, Sydney, big up Sydney. Big up Sydney. But yeah, peace out, guys. We're out of here. Catch you guys on the flip side. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow with the match reaction and everything, and we'll also be back. Do you guys want me to bring back watch-alongs? Let me know. Genuinely, would you guys want me to bring back watch-alongs? Because I don't do watch-alongs, but I'm kind of tempted to get back into watch-alongs. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I'm out of here. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.